Jordan Peterson, The Wizard Liz, oliSUNvia, Brian Johnson. These four are all content creators, and they are all incredibly different. Jordan Peterson is somebody that's very well versed in psychology. Wizard Liz gained success in one particular niche, and now she's an icon for young women. Olivia is just passionate about philosophy, and Brian Johnson just wants to live forever. These four are all incredibly different, but they all have something in common. They are doing something right for one reason or another, because they have very big audiences. So what is that one common thing? To everyone, success is subjective, sure, but they certainly must be doing something right. The answer is how they speak. All of them speak incredibly well, and most importantly, they don't use the word like. This might sound random, but it's completely true. Speaking properly is probably the most important weapon one can have, not just as a YouTuber or a social media icon, but also as a person. Future Dragosh here. Just thought my argument. These people have very curated versions of themselves online. They edit a lot of their speeches and they make themselves look extremely good. But this advice still applies to real life scenarios. Now we come to the main point of the video. Stop using the word like so often. It's not good for you. And this doesn't just apply to English. It also applies to any other language that I speak. En français, en română, даже на русском, there are a couple of words that are being repeated a little bit too often. Whenever I get voice messages from some of my friends, I play this game where I count the number of filler words they used. And my twin sister is especially guilty of that. Why does this happen? To convince you further, here's something that happened to me recently. I have this very good friend at university. He's a serious guy, wants to do investment banking and finance and all of that. He's very well determined, he studies really hard, he's very, very smart. On a lunch break, we randomly meet and we start talking about life. He tells me, "Oh, Dragosh, you know, it's so hard to find interesting people here." I disagree right away because I actively believe that every single person is incredibly interesting, and if you haven't found people, it's probably because you don't put yourself out very enough. In my head, I think he's a shy guy, you know, it happens to the best of us. But when I ask him, why does he say that? He tells me this. Have you noticed? Almost every single person here uses like every 2 or 3 seconds. I laugh because it's funny. It sounds like such a dumb reason to deny people. Since when does saying like make you an uninteresting person? I then go to class, this incredible film theory class that I have, and almost a third eye opened for me. Whenever people talked, I instantly noticed every single student just spammed the word like. This made it so hard to listen to them. It was so boring. I believe that people use words such as like whenever they haven't processed their ideas. You start talking when you have an idea that you want to express. But the problem is many people start talking without having that idea fully processed. They start the sentence, they finish half of it, then they get blocked. They only had half of their idea processed and now they don't know what to say. The brain goes in panic mode. Oh, what should I say? I didn't think this much in advance. So it comes up with a solution, obviously. Let's just throw in some random words until the idea is prepared. The person says like, or now, or any other linking word that has nothing of value to add to whatever they're saying. This leads to something that I call communication laziness. The more you do it, the lazier your brain becomes, and so you'll become worse at talking. We are scared of leaving gaps between our words. After all, we have to say something. And the word like is that something. It seems like such a small thing, but we subconsciously pick up on this. And it's so easy to measure how good somebody is at speaking just by noticing these things. In my case, I was listening to a professor in class, and he's a really smart guy. The British Film Institute, important studios in California, all types of films, even animation and gaming studios. So basically when we're talking about film, he's the guy. And that includes the way he speaks. I don't know if he was aware of it or if he did it intentionally, but he used filler words way less than the students in class. This made his speech so nice to listen to. Coming back. Great, I have a problem, thanks for letting me know. How do I solve it, smart guy? You're watching this video, particularly because you want an answer to this question. To be honest, I don't have a straightforward solution. Everyone deals with this problem, and I'm not an exception. Even the best talkers make this mistake. But there are definitely some steps you can take to improve this. So tip number 1, don't be tough on yourself. I know it's hard, but trying to cut off all the filler words right away just won't work. It's a stupid system. Instead, try to think like this. We're complex beings, we're humans, and we are capable of expressing our thoughts and feelings through words alone. That is a very tough job to do. Whenever you can't express your idea fully and you use filler words, it's not because you're stupid or dumb or because you're not interesting. It's probably because the idea is very hard to express through words. and this is totally normal. So tip number 2, learn to stay silent. When you speak to somebody, don't rush. It's totally fine if you leave some empty gaps in your speech. Maybe this doesn't apply to you if you're a salesperson, but typically people are willing to listen to you way more than you actually think. So you have their attention, right? Use that. Even if you stop, don't say the word like, just fight the urge. Silence also has its purpose. Stop for a second, think a little bit, and then when you're ready, keep going with your idea. Tip number 3, and this is probably the hardest tip, no matter how much I try to follow it, I constantly fail, is try to use short sentences. Long sentences are cool, very nice, they're very sexy, but at the same time, this means that you have to do a lot of thinking in advance. With short sentences, instead of 20 to 30 words, you get to think for only 6 or maybe 10 words in advance. This helps you so much because now you have to do way less thinking, and this would also probably imply that you would use the word like so much less. So the final tip, tip number 4, and the most important tip is be confident and take care of your body. Eat enough, sleep enough, drink enough water, and you'll see your conversations improve. So to finish this, whenever you talk to someone, the first thing you do is notice how they look and how they're dressed. After this, each of you opens their mouth, and here's where the real game of subconscious judgment begins. You can tell so much about a person from the way they speak. So here's why I'm making this video. Stop using the word like so often and see how fast your speaking improves. I will also probably apply this advice, and I can guarantee myself that my videos will become way better as a result.